My name is Lew Southern. It was in October 1943 when I arrived in Naples. I was 19, tall, skinny, very self-conscious, desperate to fit in and anxious not to appear nervous or afraid. As my group approached the command post, we'd had to step aside to allow a long line of mules to pass us on the muddy trail. They'd gone up the mountain loaded with supplies and were coming down with body bags draped over them. I was cold, wet, and numb. There wasn't a face within 1,000 miles that I'd known for more than 3 days. Sitting on the edge of the clearing were 2 or 3 German prisoners. They were hunched over, wet and miserable like I was. It was my first close look at the enemy. A man at the field desk asked, "Who's going to take those prisoners back?" And the answer came, "The Sarge is taking them. It shouldn't take more than about 15 minutes." This was said with a wink, and I remember feeling both sad and helpless. I knew he was going to shoot them. I wanted to believe that the enemy might be capable of such acts, but that we held ourselves to a higher standard. Several days later, the other side of that coin occurred. 3 of us had been sent out as night fell to take up positions on a rocky slope. We were a listening post to guard against infiltration by German night patrols. We piled up some flat rocks and brush, and we lay behind them. As it got light, we saw movement, and we heard voices on the next hill. It was a rock and sandbag German bunker. Because we could be seen, we just quietly hugged the ground. But suddenly the opposite hillside erupted as our mortars opened up, and the bunker took a direct hit. Then a man came sliding out of the bunker on his backside, dragging another man with him. He slowly got to his feet, and after several tries, he managed to get his companion draped over his shoulders. He began walking unsteadily away from us along the rocky path, and he finally disappeared around the curve of the hill. None of us said a word as we watched him go, and none of us took advantage of the easy target. The 3 of us were relatively new, and maybe we weren't angry enough yet to fire on 2 helpless men. It might have been another story. When we finally rejoined our squad, we didn't mention the departure of the Germans. I don't know about the others, but I know I was fearful of criticism, or even worse, of ridicule. Late in the morning in 1943, our Italian mountainside position was under heavy German mortar fire. The mortar bursts aren't usually random. They come in kind of a creeping pattern, and they were getting very close. My trenchmate and I tried to read the pattern, but as we scrambled up to change location, the world erupted around us. I took some large fragments through the front of my left femur, just below the hip joint. They blew out 2.5 inches of bone and left gaping holes in the front and the back of my leg. I don't remember severe pain at that moment. It just felt as though someone had swung a heavy metal bar across my midsection, numbing and paralyzing me. A medic with our squad did his best with sulfa, bandages, and morphine. And thanks to the morphine, the next several hours went by without severe pain or high anxiety. It was dusk when men with stretchers found us, and 2 men carried me slipping and sliding down the muddy slopes to a small village. Eventually, I was moved to a field hospital. When my turn came, they cut away my filthy clothes that hadn't been changed in 3 weeks. They cleaned out the wounds, and then the doctor said to me, "Soldier, do you have a girlfriend back home? I want you to close your eyes and visualize her face." When I did, I felt a hot, ripping pain as they pulled my twisted, contracted leg out straight to apply the splints. I was to spend the next 2 years in Army hospitals. Addressing the newly arrived 45th Division as it joined the 5th Army, General Patton said, "Battle is the most magnificent competition in which a human being can indulge. It brings out all that is best. It removes all that is base." I hope the romanticism of those words has become tarnished in the years that have passed since he said them. Battle may be a magnificent competition for the chess players at the top. They move the pieces around the board. but for the pawns and the helpless civilians, it is confusion, misery, and sometimes death. I did see examples of the best in men, courage and concern, with tenderness for injured soldiers and devastated civilians. But I can't say it removes all that is base. In my limited war experience, both good and bad qualities seem to get magnified.